you're gonna make a blue and gray Batman, you better be great. But for 20 bucks, I mean, you probably can't complain. Let's find out if this McFarlane is worth 20 doll hairs. What do they want you to do? Some kind of QR, get some crap you don't care about. Actually, I'm sure a lot of DC fans are probably into it. No biggie, Smalls. 22 moving parts, that's all the parts. And then you get the bottom of the box, which is a bunch of nonsense. This guy is just $20. You can find him pretty much anywhere because he's not an exclusive, which is always appreciated, okay? So let's open this BS and see if the DC has some elemental P's. What am I saying? So this is another loot crate shipment box thing from our boy, Vex, okay? Or Vex Doppelganger, depending on where you find him. Join him and some others in the Discord. So let's slide this thing out. That's the sound of the box. It's not me, okay? Despite what you may think, that was not me. And standard with some Batman stuff is a little peg thing. This guy, boom, nothing special, but it's nice to have a little stand included. And for 20 bucks, I mean, come on, can't beat it. And then you get a little card, little trading card, Batman stuff. The same art that's on the back, which is nice. And I will say that's kind of like McFarlane's whole thing too, is you might get a stand, but you're definitely gonna get a little playing card, trading card. Did I just create a shadow putting that box there? Okie dokie. So, McFarlane, what are you not gonna get in the box? Mini accessories, but it's $20, man. Come on, you can't get upset about it. And when they put a flight stand in there, like they did for Supergirl for the Flash movie, the Flash movie. Oh boy, that is an incredible value because flight stands are usually, you know, not free. So 20 bucks, even if you don't like the Batgirl, that's a good flight stand. I'm happy with the one I have. Oh, so I didn't think there were any ties, but he's got one here on this foot, and that's it. Okay. Now, speaking of art, like on the box art of this Batman figure, I also sell art. So if you want to support this show, this channel, and me, then purchase some of my art. So then you have something that you own for your money, and you help me out. So it's like, you know, just going and buying normal stuff, but you're buying it from me. And then that makes me happy, and then you'll be happy because you like the art. So that's cool. Check the link in the description for that stuff. Back to the show. Okay, we've got our blue and gray Batman looking bright, looking good. He's got a realistic looking face, which is interesting. So like the paintwork there is really nice. And this is where McFarlane stuff is superior, in my opinion, is when they do stuff that's just from a comic rather than a movie figure. So pretty standard too is to get like at least one extra set of hands. These are just gripping hands for what? For this. You almost always get a batarang. The just styles are obviously different depending on the version, but there's some kind of like metallic thing going on here in that blue, which is interesting. But let's look at the details of this guy. That is a great likeness because it's a made-up likeness. So it actually looks pretty good. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. If this was my Batman so far, I'd be pretty content. I mean, 20 bucks. I like that pose though. Huh, I am Batman. How about this one? He is the Dark Knight and he has to stand watch. I'm Batman. That doesn't make sense. But he has got some strong arms there, man. He's a beefy in the arm realm. He's beefy in the arm realm, but the body is pretty slender compared to most, or not most, a lot of versions of Batman where he's just like this super bulky thing, kind of like a Batfleck. I like this. This is a good build. This is a nice representation of a blue and gray that isn't our boy Mr. West. The cape is pretty pliable for plastic. Obviously, it's just going to go back to its natural form, but it's not going to be so stiff that it gets in the way. So I think we'll be able to actually get some good poses out of this thing. 20 bucks, not bad. The diaper situation isn't so obvious because we have this belt, which is good. But yeah, sometimes that's like the worst thing that they do. Much like the diaper scenario in the picture I posted on Instagram and tagged Mad Hatter because it was like there was a version I was Superman and then the evil version of Superman, which was clearly Mad Hatter because one of us is nice. The other details, so he's not really painted anywhere. This is all just like plastic coloring, but it works. It works really well. The face is painted. But let's look at some articulation because he's got a lot of it. 22 moving parts, in fact. So the head, let's see, what kind of articulation can we get out of that? Not a whole lot up, a little bit down. You can get a little bit more up if you turn the head, which is interesting. So yeah, it's just kind of a standard ball peg that's underneath there. But he's got some pretty good articulation depending on what you need out of that. There's nothing in the neck area, which is fine. The shoulders, though, he's got these like butterfly things going on in here. This is really nice. I love when there's extra articulation in this portion of a figure because you just get a lot more poses, a lot more action is available. I don't know anything about this version of Batman, so maybe I mean, I'm sure he's still got a grappling hook. That's kind of like his whole jam, right? So I kind of wish that there was something like that in the box. But other than that, we got the bicep swivel, you got double jointed elbows. So thank you, McFarlane, Todd McFarlane, for doing that. Then you got these kind of interesting joints going on with the wrist. So it's like a ball style. It's just like the shape is good for a ball style wrist joint. It doesn't stand out. It's not as so freaking obvious as some of the other brands out there that do that stuff. Then you get this torso thing, which can get some great dynamic bat poses. Wham! Pow! Look at that. That's pretty sweet. So I am really digging this. As far as a Batman goes, this is great. So articulation around the waist as well allows for even more ab crunching and such. And then obviously you can like spin it here, spin it there. You can lean left and right. So this is a beautiful Batman. You got full splits. You got this kind of rotation thing around that peg. It just gets a little weird sometimes. If you twist it enough, sometimes you can get the leg to move as you want it to, but it's not a smooth piece under here to like rotate this while keeping that. But whatever. You get double jointed knees. You have no swivel down the leg though, which is always a bummer. So you got to rely on it up here in that kind of weird joint. Having a boot swivel would really, really help out, or something around the knee. But thank you for not ruining it by putting a thigh swivel like Hasbro. Ankle though, you get this, it looks like it would rotate. Yes. So you get this rotation here, this kind of ball joint thing at the top portion. And then you get this kind of extreme. And then the best thing about the foot right now is that. Also the microphone's down here, and the audio probably got worse here than it does here. But a nice foot toe articulation really gives you some awesome poses. So I'm really looking forward to what we can get out of this Batman, despite not having a whole lot of accessories, it's really just gonna be punching, kicking, and throwing this Batarang. But this is a great Batman. If you're wanting to get a Batman for your shelf and you're okay with a gray and blue, then this is a must for 20 bucks. The only downside is, if you're not a big DC collector, then the scale is off. Like these things are huge compared to what you get out of like Hasbro or most stuff from NECA. So the scale is going to be a little weird, but if you have a DC shelf and you like McFarlane, this is a must. This is beautiful. It's so well done. Because they make 1,000 versions of Batman, and sometimes it's really hard to just keep up with what he's releasing. And there are so many like weird variants where you're just like, okay, another one with weird armor or whatever. This is a good classic standard Batman. What could have made it better? Raise the price and put a cloth cape with a wire on there. That would have been awesome. I'm sure there are people out there that are customizing these things, right? That somebody makes bat capes. Anyway, talk long enough about one figure with not many accessories. Let's get into posing. And then when the posing segment's done, that's the end of the video. So why am I still talking? Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.